I've used a lot, a lot of premium flagship smartphones over the years, but since the rise of mid-range devices, we have seen them offering that bang for your buck, and it makes me wonder, is it necessary to buy a flagship device? Is it really necessary given now that we have mid-range devices offering us the same or sometimes more than what some flagships offer? Well, recently, I have been able to answer those questions with the help of my now daily driver. Meet the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. Being around the smartphone industry for quite a while and having experience in sales, I've realized most folks make their purchases based firstly on price and then what specs that device has to offer. Let's take a look at the features this device has to offer you, the consumer. The base model of this device starts at around 220 US, and as the configuration goes up, it sits below 400 US. The model in review is the highest configuration offered. This mid-range device has a beautiful 6.7-inch 120Hz AMOLED display with a touch sampling rate of 240Hz. The resolution on here is 1080 by 2400. Now listen, this is one of the best displays I've seen on a device. This AMOLED panel is sharp and colors look incredibly punchy and vibrant. Content of every kind looks super gorgeous on this display. One thing to note, you do get a pre-applied screen protector on here as well. I'm glad to see the hole punch cutout for the 16 megapixel front cam is super small and not obnoxious at all. I have to talk about the build quality with this device, and I must say it feels really good in the hand and premium. I'll say Xiaomi has done a good job here considering the frame it's made of is plastic and the front and back are Gorilla Glass 5. What's also surprising is that you'll think the back will be a fingerprint magnet, but because of the material used, it's hardly seen and it can easily be wiped off. It's also not that slippery either. Additionally, this device carries an IP53 rating against minor dust and splashes. The fingerprint scanner is side mounted and also doubles as the power button. It's very responsive and works as it should. With the absence of headphone jack these days, I'm glad to see it's on here, as well as an IR blaster to the top of the device. You can pop 2 SIM cards in here and a micro SD card as well. No sacrificing one of the SIM spaces for the memory card as done in other mid-range and even flagship devices. The processor found here is a Snapdragon 732G. It's made for some mid-range devices and it also lacks 5G. But given how well MIUI is optimized on here, with 8 gigs of RAM and in addition to having that 120Hz refresh rate, trust me when I tell you, everything runs super smooth and buttery. It's impressive how fast software optimization can go. No lagging here whatsoever. Performance feels exactly as how it should run on a flagship that costs 1K and over. One of my concerns was how will graphic demanding games perform on this mid-range device, and to my surprise, it performed very well. I played games like Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 9 and both ran smoothly without any frame drops. Battery life has been impressive. The 5020 mAh capacity is more than enough to run you into 2 days of solid use depending on how you use your device. I ran this with a 120Hz refresh rate locked, and well, the results speak for themselves. Bear in mind, some flagship devices can barely keep these numbers up. You can always top up with a 33-watt super fast charger as well. Next up, let's talk cameras. This quad camera setup performs very close to what many flagships offer. It's not perfect, but I'm sure a lot of people will be satisfied with what it has to offer. The main 108 megapixel shooter by default takes 12 megapixel shots, but you can choose the 108 megapixel mode as well. I absolutely enjoyed using the macro mode. I mean, just look at these results. There's also a dual camera mode which I can see being used by content creators a lot. What's up guys, this is the front facing camera test. I think it looks pretty good, pretty color accurate to be honest. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. When we hear the term mid-range or budget device, we tend to think that we are going to get a somewhat mediocre experience because it seems cheap, but I can certainly tell you that's not the case here. We have covered all of the selling points of purchasing a device that you will be most satisfied with, and it's safe to say the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro have covered at least 98% of them. What really defines a flagship then? I guess it all comes down to what processor a device carries, because as far as we have seen, most of these features found on this mid-range device can be found on flagships and in some instances perform better. So do you really need to dish out that flagship money? It's quite simple. No, you don't need to. With devices like this around, all of your everyday needs from a smartphone can be met here with ease. It all comes down to choice really, because some folks actually need the raw power of a flagship device for their needs. And then there are some folks who simply like to get something that gives them a bang for their buck. There are a lot of mid-range devices that rival flagship devices, and if you guys have any suggestions of them that you would like to see reviewed on the channel, hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bless.